Okay. I think we're live.
I'm looking.
There we go. YouTube
There
finally picked this up. Okay.
I was like,
That's what I was
yep.
waiting on. I'm like, wait a minute. Did I click the wrong thing? Anyway, hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Breaking the Block, where creatives help creatives stay creative, pretty much. I'm going to let Rach introduce herself. We will have a Skye joining us a little bit later, and when she does, she can introduce herself too, but go ahead. That way.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me? All right.
Yeah.
I didn't see the little thing. I was like, well, I am Rach or Rachel D. Adams, and I write urban fantasy, paranormal romance for now. I also write aggressively helpful writing advice for anybody that's interested in just practical writing advice that comes from me having experiences and just sharing with everybody, like, don't do what I did or something like that, because that is what it is. And I'm here today to answer some questions and also possibly ask some questions.
And we are definitely here for it. All right. Hey, Maggie, you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, lovelies. Mama Maggie Ward, independent author, stroke survivor, migraine overcomer, and I love coffee. I am a writer of many different genres of fiction, including the 12-book Relic of Time War series, which I've had on freebie and sale for the entire month of #DieNovember. And I have been doing the 100 sprints of November challenge, which I'm currently only like 80 sprints through. I could literally sprint for the next till midnight and not finish the 100 sprints. But, that's what happens. And that's what's the good thing about these challenges is you do them to push yourself, not to always get the big win.
That's a lot, though. What you already said, that's a lot. So,
Yeah.
also, book 4 is out
Yay.
for the Dragon Tasker series. I made the last. I kept moving moving the goalpost. I finally made it happen, and we're already like halfway through doing stuff for book 5, and my beta readers are like, "Yo!" So I got to get on that now, and also put a fire underneath my co-writer's ass for that. So hoping that gets done.
I'm all for fires.
Mm-hmm.
So I shared the links down in the description box for Maggie, Rach, and Skye. And also I put Rach's link tree into the chat as well. So make sure to hit that up. We got a cat paw. We have a Rita. Wanted to watch this live, but then hubby wants to watch a new episode of Tulsa King. Haven't heard of that. Jenna's waving, lurking around while deep cleaning the kitchen cabinets. Awesome. Happy time zone to you. Rach pulling double duty. Yes, we are live. Yes, books. Hello. Good morning, everyone. Got a James. All right, cool. So, for those of you who do not know me, hi, I am writer Sam Wicker, and welcome again. But I am a writer of adult romantasy. I do spice on the page, and I have 2 pen names, Sam Wicker and SW Lupine. And yeah, it's been fun, so much fun doing this. I will have another book coming out early 2026. I hope, if I can ever get my butt back into the editing chair. But we'll see. All right. So, first question is first. If you do have any questions in the chat, make sure to mark them with a Q at the beginning and we will get to them. But this one right here is one that popped up in one of my feeds. What is your go-to to get rid of you doubting yourself? Like, do you have a terrible book that you look at to make you feel better about your writing, or what?
I just go to Book Talk. No, I go back and forth between I love all my stories. I hate all my stories. I'm such a good writer. I'm such a bad writer. Yeah, it's the pendulum, and yeah, there are a few books that that I will like remind myself that this book made it big, and then I don't. It's like, it's like that joke about what's the real story behind Mary Poppins. An overbusy businessman gets a new children from his nanny from off the streets, and she sings to them about drinking cough medicine with sugar. So, and that story's a classic. So, hey, nothing I write can be that bad.
Well, I mean, we've got Grimm fairy tales too, so. Yeah.
Disney made a business out of changing R-rated fairy tales into G-rated movies.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody caught on for years.
Yep.
So
decades.
Yeah. So,
If you ever want to see one that didn't age well, watch Bedknobs and Broomsticks.
I don't even see when I
Or
was a kid.
Chitty
I
Chitty
never
Bang Bang. Yeah, there's several that came out in the 60s and 70s that like you watch them and you're just like, oh, and it's like, you're not trying to do that cringe culture thing where everything is, but there are just some things that are like, oh, yeah.
Even when I watched them when I was little, like Bedknobs and Broomsticks and Song of the South, I was like, really? They did this?
I forgot about Song of the South. My parents did not let me watch that one until I didn't watch that one until I was an adult. Yeah, they were like, no, this one is no, this no, these are bad things for children to learn in our culture. And I was like, I don't understand. And then when I was an adult and I watched it, I was like, I understand.
Yeah.
So one thing that helped me with my confidence was when I was in fan fiction, and I actually this may be sad, but to be honest, I would collect compliments. I would keep them because they meant so much to me.
Mm-hmm.
It was like my brain wouldn't allow me to believe that I was really that good of a writer, but if complete strangers were like, oh man, if you made a book out of this, this would be great. Or, oh, well, I want to write with your characters, can we do something together with our characters and stuff? And then one of my partners, which I really miss him, but life is life. He's a professor now, and he still comments on, missing writing with us. So with me and Tina. So I'm like, well, I mean, must have been good because so yeah, I keep that in mind. And then, the same examples that Maggie gave, there've been books that I've DNF'd. There have been traditional books that I've DNF'd because I'm like, how is it that you're doing all of this? And here we are doing all this work to make sure that we don't have any of this in our book. Mm-hmm. We're so worried about it that we wind up being perfectionists, and this is the backside. This is after you're confident in your story. This is making sure that you've got everything edited to perfection, to the point that it's like, oh, wow, I've almost wasted time at this point because I've tried to get things absolutely perfect. And there are people in the traditional publishing world that are just literally copy pasting and it's going out the door. You can tell that they didn't really look at it. So that reminds me.
It's like they changed the names, rearranged the plot points, and then send out the book. And it's...
So I have a What am I? Okay, so my brain is mush. Sorry, Skye knows why my brain is mush. Um, so there's a level of professionalism, is what I'm trying to say, that we are trying to capture, and I am proud of the fact that we're trying to capture that level of professionalism, despite even the professionals slipping up. And so when I see that happen, that makes me feel a bit of pride in all the work that I do for mine. Does that make sense?
And originality. That's
Right.
another thing that like Trad Pub is looking. They say we're looking for the next this book. We're looking for the next that book. We're looking for the next Hunger Games, and then it became
It's
I
like,
don't
even though we have
and
comps, and like you can say our book is a mix of this, and this, but it's a mix. Like, it's not the exact same thing, just
yeah,
repackaged.
yeah. So it's I think that indie authors have for this all of this stuff, we have a lot bigger mountain out of all of this stuff listed below to overcome. We have further to sink into our self-doubt because we're indie. Oh, you're a writer. How nice. And so the doubts are bigger, the pitfalls are bigger. We have to climb higher to pull ourselves out of that mindset of am I really good enough to be publishing? Why am I doing this? And so I think indie authors have a lot bigger mountain to valley ratio to deal with than tried published authors.
Skye, you want to introduce yourself and answer the question?
Sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Skye. I'm sorry I'm late. I had to drive the hubs to work, but we both woke up late. We slept through both his and mine alarms, so yay. Um, I am a fantasy author who typically writes paranormal romance. I'm named SD Higgins, and after this evening, I will be on hiatus for the rest of the year, and I will be back in January with my own stuff. And I have not decided yet if I'm going to join Breaking the Block during my hiatus or not. So you may or may not see me. I don't know. I don't know. But as far as like getting rid of the self-doubt, I don't think it ever goes away for me personally. Every once in a while, when I'm feeling it, I'll just start reading. I'll do more reading than writing, and of course that means you're going to find books that are horrible, and it's like, if this can be published, so can I, and then I'm back to writing again. So
Awesome. So for me, if I get really, really bad imposter syndrome and my self-doubt is turning into the whole depression spiral, I talk to my hubs because he knows everything. He will point out this book that has been traditionally published and it has over 1,000 sales and it will be horrible. And he'll be like, look, this has over 1,000 sales. You're going to get there. Keep writing. Keep at it. And I'm like, okay, cool. And it makes me feel a little bit better. But I also do collect compliments and stuff. And beta readers, y'all, help out with that a lot. So, and this right here, terrible is highly subjective. Yes, most trad published books are terrible. So the book that he used to point out all the time, my hubs, was the one that had Hodor all the way throughout the book. It's like 150 pages of just one word. And some of it's capitalized, and some of it's lowercase, and some of it's italicized, and everything. And it's like, really? And that's published. And it has over 1,000 copies sold. So, yeah.
Somebody did an I Am Groot like that. They did I Am Groot. It's a whole book written in I Am Groot. I Am Groot. I Am Groot.
If it's the same person.
and it actually sold like hundreds of copies before somebody told Marvel, and Marvel went yink.
Mm.
So yeah, the Overlord D did not find I am Groot. I am Groot. I am Groot. To be funny.
Yeah. Oh, Touchstone Pictures. Yes. Still haven't seen most of those. Just don't. Just save yourself.
Oh, speaking of stories on repeat, so hubby went and saw Running Man, the new one.
Uh-huh.
So bad. And he and his buddy who went to see it loved campy bad movies. They like that 13-year-old boy crap.
Oh no. Okay.
And so, yeah, if Running Man, that wasn't a good movie to begin with, but became a cult classic, can be remade on a huge, like $50 million budget, have hope for your book.
We will eventually get movie deals, y'all. I promise.
No, James.
I don't want a movie deal, honestly. And I don't want a TV deal. I really don't.
Gotcha.
Every book is the worst book I've ever published. Every one of them.
Yeah.
Every story is the worst one I've ever written. Every one of them. I just write them because I have OCD gold brain, and my brain will not shut up until it's done. Which is why the last 2 books in Pagosa Cliffs have not been published yet, because I've been working on the rewrite of The Shadow Hunt since July. And it's the most complicated one I've ever written, and my brain will not let it go, and I cannot stop working on it, even though everything for the third and fourth quarter of this year has now been pushed into 2026.
See, I'm poking to get more out of the Where people. I want the whole series.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, I need to talk. I need to like hook up with you later and talk about, should I split it into multiple books? Because I could totally write the whole thing into novellas.
That is actually, from what I'm hearing on the market side of things, actually is the big thing right now, because everybody's losing their attention spans, and they're like, okay, well, either they really, really love the big books and they're collectors, and they're like, this is a trophy for me, and this is a big thing for me, that I read the big book, or they love bite-sized books that they can read over a weekend and get into the characters and love them, and then leave them for the week so that they can work, or whatever, and then they get another one for the next weekend, and so they love the little books.
This is why I cut Relic of Time Wars from 6 250,000 word books into 12 80 to 90,000 word books, because and it's, I mean,
that's my goal. And those are big books. Like, I've got the ones that I'm coming up with now are like 50,000.
Yeah. And it blows my mind that 80 to 90,000 word books are now considered the big boys.
Yeah.
Because I still, where is it?
Because I come up with, I'm a fantasy reader, so yeah, exactly.
I'm reading Brand Sand right now.
Yeah, the weapon.
That's a big boy.
I don't know if I'm ever going to write my weapon. Like, I've got the weapon.
See, I want to show you something. Okay, so yeah.
Don't the weapon. Don't.
Okay, so yeah, these are different sized books. But it's still like.
Yeah. It's a tent. It's a tent.
I have this out because I was rereading it, and a friend of mine saw it, and she was like, "Oh my God!" Looks at the back. I must read this book, and I'm like, "Okay, I will get it for you. I will loan you the book, and then you can buy a trophy for yourself." But she thought it was she was like, "This looks absolutely hysterical, and it would be totally something I love." And I'm like, "Yeah, you would."
That's awesome. I have gotten one complaint about that book, and it was one of my friends. She's like, next time, put a warning on there that people are going to pee their pants, because I did.
Agreed.
And I'm like, cool, I like it.
My poor husband, we were driving around and I was like, I would literally just start cackling over something, and, unexpectedly. And I'm like, it's really funny. And he'd be like, okay.
All right, cool. I love it.
Yeah, that definitely needs a warning label that says drink liquids at your own risk. Go to the bathroom prior to chapter.
Cool. All right. And as far as this goes, yeah, I don't think you ever get rid of the doubt. It's cyclical. Everything's cyclical. You go in and out of it.
And it goes for not just books, it goes for writing. Like I would say almost every time I publish an article, I'm like hovering above the publish button going, but do I really need to publish this? I mean, there's so many other people that say things and, do I really need to put my opinion out there? But I mean, I get compliments and, thank yous because of it. So my main thing is to help other people by putting my stuff out there. And I'm pleased with the results so far.
Good. Very good.
Yeah, to her comment, oh, look, I made a very pretty printout of all of my 15 different editing steps. I keep it on my desk in
I
a
like
frame.
the 30 questions. That's my favorite. So
A gold frame. The 30 questions of world building and the 30 questions every author should ask their character.
every author should ask their character. I love that. It actually built more than what I already had down. So
Yeah. Well, and I like the fact that there were sections of it that I used a sliding scale because those are personality traits. You are either this, and they tend to be represented as all the way this or all the way that. There's never that gray scale, and that's what I like in characters. And it's like I DNF'd a book that it was like paper dolls on dragons, and not even cool dragons. Little plastic mass-produced dragons from China. Temu dragons. That's what it is. Temu dragons with paper dolls on them. And I was like, okay, so I understand dragons is a thing now, but dear Lord, I didn't. You would be proud of me. I did not send my 30 questions things to that author.
And now I have a story idea.
I was like, I made it to chapter 5. I skipped to chapter 23.
It would have been better if you had.
I skipped to chapter 23, looked at it, went, nope, and not even going to read the last 5 chapters. Delete from my Kindle. That's how bad it was. And then I started reading a book called Feral Gods about gargoyles. I think Rach would like this book.
I love gargoyles.
It's dark elves that have been turned into gargoyles to fight a war, and then they were cursed and petrified. And then, like, the great granddaughter of the witch that cursed them like 20 generations ago is a slave of the dark elf king, and she actually stumbles into their sanctuary, into their temple, and begs for sanctuary. And because her blood is the blood of the witch that cursed them, it wakes them up.
Nice.
So
that does sound neat.
It's called Feral Gods, which the title doesn't really fit the book.
Right. I never would have thought that.
But the someone who also read gargoyles and is like on me to finish the Western Queen said, "Oh, I read this gargoyle book. You're gonna love the world building." And I was like, oh, okay. Oh, spicy scene. Oh, here's another spicy scene. That's fine. I can skip over the spicy scenes. But the nice things are the spicy things have to do with the plot.
That's the important part.
So I was like, that made me super happy. That makes me super happy because I hate just random spice. It's like, why are they doing this? They're literally being hunted by assassins like 2 pages ago. Why are they doing this? So yeah. Remember, if you are reading a bad book, there are thousands of indie authors. There's always a good book somewhere.
Yep.
I read mostly indie books these days.
Yeah.
90% of what I read is indie.
Yeah. And the whole writer's block after Nano, like completing a big goal, I always get that too. It's just burnout. It's like a mild
It's
case of
mini,
burnout.
right? Like, it's a miniature burnout because you've been so focused.
Mm.
You're hyper focused on this one thing, and then the month is over, and you're like, oh, and it's just like a shock to your brain. So
Yeah.
definitely.
See, my brain does this all the time, so it's like it doesn't matter if it's Nano or not. My brain is like, ew, the goal. And I'm like, no, I want a month off. No, you must finish the goal. I have other projects to do. No, finish the goal. Yeah, so as someone who normally writes 50 to 80,000 words a month, I understand the nano burnout is a thing, but it's because my brain is not normally wired. Yes. Do not be a Mama Maggie. Do not write 1 million words in a series and then go, oh yeah, the editing. Must make a plan for the editing. Because then you spend literally 4 years editing a series that it took you 2 years to write.
Yep. I like this. Anyone who thinks publishing is the difference between being an author and writer needs to stop poisoning coffee with Kool-Aid. Yep. The grape Kool-Aid.
They need to stop pouring their Red Bull into their espresso. That's what they need to do. Don't laugh. My friend owns a coffee shop, a coffee kiosk, and coffee and Red Bull mixes are a huge thing.
They are here too.
And I'm like, why?
There's
Why
a
would you
reason
do
why.
that?
There's a reason why there's so many heart attacks. No. See, I don't tell people I write it unless they know me really well. I get condescending looks for admitting on the bus. Imagine if I wrote fanfic on the bus. Agreed. Indie writers have gotten the label of not being good enough for a trad deal because trad is so much better. Wrong. So wrong.
Raise your hand if you have trad published books on your bookshelves right now that need a good editing sweep.
I just
I'm
Trad
like, if you
used to
got
be
that,
so good. Trad used to be like the goal, but now it's like, why? Just why?
well,
Especially when
it
there's
changed
other
things.
people out there who are making more money than some of the trad pub publishers who've been published for years.
Yep.
And it changed my mind when I went to a big convention like Gen Con, and you had one of the major published traditional fantasy authors come in and be like, this is why you should publish this yourself. And I was like, what did I just walk into?
Wow.
and he put it all out there. He had a whole presentation for us.
Well, 4 years ago, when there was the big Random House lawsuit going on, there was that big Random House court case going on, and the people that were subpoenaed from Simon Schuster to testify about it were like, "Oh yeah, we're lucky to sell 5 copies per 5 to 10 copies per region for trad pubbed books," and it's like, what? And they're saying, they usually first run print is only a few thousand copies, and most of those end up in the discount bin or sent to recycling. Wow. That blew my mind.
I've hit the point where if I ever did try to go the trad route, it would literally be for that advance so I could use it to pub some more indie books. Ain't worth it if I'm not getting a big enough advance that I can publish some more indie books. Give me all the really good covers that I know are going to be so much better than the trad pub cover.
Well, and the thing is like the trad pubs push the things that everybody's heard about Onyx Storm.
Yep.
And the absolute disaster that it is. And
I always
it's
worried
like,
about it.
this is what,
because if anything
Yeah, I
happens,
didn't-
like what happened to me, what would happen to my contract? What would happen to things that you were supposed to do? And you were supposed to have a deadline, and so you don't have the mental and emotional bandwidth to do a good job on your next novel. I mean, I see what happened to Lane Cunningham, and I was blown away by the last book in the specific series that she wrote, because it was, you could tell it was rushed. You could tell she was under pressure. And she even came out and said it later. And I'm just like, I literally threw the book away. I was like, I can't let these characters end on this note. And then to find out that it was because her publisher was pushing her to get it done immediately. I was just like, well, there you go. And I feel like our story should be told how we want our stories told and not be rushed. And that's what this machine that is traditional publishing does. It rushes everybody because their main goal is profit. Their main goal isn't to make sure that a story gets told.
Yeah, and like you had the thing with your eye. I have my chronic migraines and OCD gold brain. Poor Sam had all of that stuff that happened to her last spring, and Skye's got her kids and work and stuff like that. It's like, it'd be nice. Being a trad published author, would be nice for the name recognition, but honestly, Jenna was right in her comment. Trad houses are now publishing following indie author trends, publishing more indie author style books. And that's because that's what's selling. And it's because the readers, like we started off earlier about, the readers don't want the big honky chonkin' books anymore. They want something that will hold their expensive attention plan. And yeah, it's all funny to see the memes that I'm just going to read one more page, 2 a.m. plot twist. Yeah, that's funny. But in the real world, people got to go to bed. They got to work. And when they look up and realize they've read until 4 a.m., that just means they're screwed for tomorrow.
Yep. And yes, you can borrow him. When I start to spiral, I walk away from writing or knitting or whatever I'm doing. Yep. Hey, Dawn. Let's see. Jenna sold out of almost all of her novellas and anthologies at the shows. Did well at this year for just that, the bite-sized.
Bite-sized. Yep.
I think my longest
And Jenna,
book
your books honestly could be split into 2 bite-sized each, because you're telling, the stories they line up so well in your books that it's a double. Sorry.
Well, see, the thing my brain always goes back to is the dime store westerns.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When I first started writing, that's what I wanted to write, was like the pulp fiction, the fast-paced short stories. And so like all of my word counts are like, my longest book is 80,000, and that was more of an epic fantasy. It's not quite epic fantasy, but that's the closest I'm going to get. And it's my longest work. Most of my stuff is between 50 to 60,000 words, if that, because I like those itty bitty little pulp fiction bookies.
This is why I don't publish on AO3 unless I'm sure about the story. Oh, man. Harry Potter and the Order of Phoenix is over 250,000 words. The exact word count is 257,045 words. And this is the reason why I thought that I'm No Hero wasn't that bad.
If that's what you're used to, then that's the norm. And yeah, it's like when you start really starting to, and I thank Jenna for helping me whittle my stuff down to like 80,000. Most of them are 78 to 80 something thousand. And But they start like at 120,000 at least because we're overwriters.
Yeah. Third Harry Potter book nearly made me do that a couple times. I get that.
I only got through the first one, honestly.
Really?
And I watched the movies, so.
So my thing is we had a class in college where she wanted to read, I think it was the fourth book, and study it. And me, at that time, I could not read anything out of order.
Oh, no.
So I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I spent the month before that semester started reading the first 3 books. And then I read it. And then I just continued because I needed to complete it. So, yeah. I think I made 100 in that class. I tend to get imposter syndrome more than with clarinet than with writing or anything else. Let me see that. Liz says, that's why I've more or less stopped blogging after 18 years. Does the world need to hear this from me? There are so many other voices out there. So my Substack is kind of my newsletter, but whenever I post there, I just hit post. I'm like, I'm not even going to allow myself to think about this.
Yeah, because somebody inevitably winds up getting a good lesson out of it. You know, you're gonna help somebody. You're gonna have somebody that can empathize, or somebody that's just feeling down, and like you'll bring up something, and then the next thing you know, they're like, oh, yeah, and it's a silent commiseration, but it's good.
No.
My brain just went, oh yeah, I have a Substack. I haven't updated it, and I don't know when. I also have a Ko-fi that I haven't posted anything on, and I don't know when.
I keep forgetting about Ko-fi. Like, I'll do good for like a month, and then
Same.
Kind of.
Ko-fi is just like the entry, you know. It's like, hey, just in case, go here to see more stuff. You know,
I have my Ko-fi links on like different things, and so once in a while I get a tip. Somebody will read something on like Inkit, and I'll get a tip, or somebody will listen to Fatality and Fractured Hearts, and I'll get a tip, or they'll listen to Ghost with Cats on my YouTube channel because I have those set at podcast, and I'm like, leave me a tip if you like it, and I'll get a tip. But yeah, most of the time no. I'm like, oh yeah, there's that thing there that I never pay attention to. Because I don't have the spoons.
Understandable. The Hobbit and Little Woman took me several attempts to get through, but I did it. I could not finish Hunger Games on audio. Hunger Games on audio was rough. And I don't know if that was just because, I don't know if they've remade it or anything, but when I first tried to listen to it, I was like, nah, I'm just going to buy the books.
It was easier for me to listen to the electronic voice because I have an older Kindle Fire that will AI read it in this very synthetic female voice, and it was easier for me to listen to that for Hunger Games than it was to actually listen to the audiobook.
Yeah.
Oof. That's bad.
Yeah. The Sandman series, the audio on it, I absolutely adored it because, yeah. But everything, the Hunger Games, I could not listen to it. And yes, you can.
No, Dawn, no.
Bad Dawn.
Just do it.
We do have scenes.
And honestly, and unless you're like dragon warlord, vampire warlord, and you're walking off the battlefield covered in goo and blood and entrails,
You wonder why Gabriel is jealous.
Pretty much, the rest of us would go and have a shower first.
That's the only thing that saves Gabriel, I think. He's probably like, there's no way.
Yeah.
Mr. OCD is like,
Don't touch this.
But at the same time, but you did what?
It's hot that you can do that, but go
okay, so there was a scene my brain played out for long ago, Sen and Seb, and I was like, he put the femur where? And then all I could think of was Badge 502 going.
And
so,
she says she skips those things.
I'm not trying to give Dawn ideas, but
I feel like you
that
are.
scene has run through my head.
In my brain, I'm like, the femur isn't the right shape. You have to go with like the tibia.
Yeah.
But it's got that nice bump on the end.
Megan's over here like, yo.
Hi, James. Sorry for your trauma.
Oh, gosh. Lord of the Rings on audio is pretty good.
What do you guys think about this thing they're doing with like really popular books that like they're doing what's called Realcast, where they have like 6 to 10 different voices doing the books?
Yeah. That's what they did with Sandman.
I think that that's an excellent idea. I'm seeing the evolution. Go with me on this little journey. People who have podcasts or any kind of cast that are doing the Dungeons and Dragons things are getting more and more popular to the point that they're actually creating shows for them. There's been 2 or 3 now that are actually animated full-on shows with their voice, using their voices. And they started out being just Dungeons and Dragons, and that's it. They were playing all together, and they become voice actors and et cetera and so forth. So I'm seeing this evolution on this side, and then we've got all of these books with a huge chorus of characters that need voice actors on this side. So I just felt like it was a natural situation where these things are going to start happening, where you're going to see more and more with the whole cast of characters having different voices because the work's available and the people are more and more available. So I'm ready for it to happen.
It reminds me of the radio show. Which one was the one where of course my brain is blanking on it. Where everyone thought alien invasion, everyone thought that aliens were invading.
War of the Worlds.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. It reminds me of that kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And I have mixed feelings on it. I feel like some are really good and some are just really bad. And I think I like it more when they actually have a full cast versus 1 or 2 people trying to do all of the voices. Because there are some where it is like they've got 4 people doing the voices of 30 people at different times. And some of the best ones I have listened to it's the dialogue and they add like sounds for the action without having a narrator saying he said they did this, blah 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 kind of stuff. So it's just the dialogue and action scenes where the action scenes you hear the sounds of what's going on, but there's no one saying this is what they're doing. And then it's the cast of characters speaking. Some of those are really good. And it feels like you're just listening to a movie without actually seeing the visual picture. And it's kind of cool.
Where to submit stuff for review?
I feel like there's a lot of places for that.
Yeah, if you join the Indie Authors Association, they have pages of links that you can use to find different agents, everything. There's actually a book that comes out every year. I don't know if they still make it in a printed format that you can get from a library that allows you to look up book agents and publishing agents, like addresses and stuff like that. They're really frowning on like actual physical copy submissions. Everybody wants the e-copy submissions, and you have to be very careful, like to submit exactly to their guidelines, or they automatically delete you. If they say they want the first 50 pages, don't send them your whole book and think, oh, well, they can just read the 50 pages. If you send them something and it's outside their genre, or if it's a genre mash, you have to be very careful who they send it to. Like if you have somebody that is a specific fantasy author agent and you send them a sci-fi fantasy, the moment they see sci-fi, there it goes. And same thing with sci-fi author agents. If they see the slightest bit of fantasy, sci-fi tends to be a little bit more forgiving because of people pointing out things like Star Wars, Star Trek. Those are soft sci-fi with and soft sci-fi is a system that you have hard systems and soft systems in fantasy and sci-fi, and the rules are what make the difference. The technology is what makes the difference. If you have explainable, understandable technology that has to follow certain rules, then you're on the harder side of it. If you have hardcore rules for magic, like the first few of the Harry Potter books, where magic has a hard rule system, then you're okay with it. If there is no rules for your magic system, if there are no rules for your technology, then you fall under what they call Clarke's third law, that technology sufficiently advanced appears as magic. Then that's a soft system.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of resources that you can get. I can't think of the names of any of them right now, brain. But yeah. And the other thing is a lot of vanity presses are now calling themselves hybrid presses, and it's the same song, different dance, where you pay a bunch of money for people who may or may not have the training to go through your book.
Yeah.
And fix it. And yeah.
There are some out there that you just need to like look up what they're doing, because some of them are straight up. They're right forward with you, that they're there to help you do these things. But most of the ones that I've seen and I've seen some in North Carolina too, that do things like that, they're not going to charge you a huge fee up front to do things. They're there, and like they help you out. They help with marketing. They help, if you need an editor, they can put you in touch with an editor, that kind of thing. It's more like a living directory kind of thing instead of vanity press, but they got to go with that thing.
Another Devin's website, I'll call Indy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Rach
put that up there.
Yeah, in the chat. There's also, I put the...
never pay to publish your book. Please don't.
Never. I put the links to Alliance of Independent Authors, Query Tracker, and Submittable as well. So Submittable is more for like short stories, poetry, and stuff like that. But there are some longer form on there. But yeah, Query Tracker has all the agents, editors, everything.
And it doesn't hurt to look up the agent of an author that you like to see if they're taking submissions.
And if
you have an author that you like, if you feel like you write something similar, but understand though that right now agents, because of the mass layoffs of agents and the use of AI to scrub over submissions, agents are handling between 100 and 300 submissions a day.
Mm.
They can't be doing their job right.
Mm.
And
Or
if you're
even-
wanting to go the indie route instead of like the trad route, it sounds like you're trying to go the trad route. But if you are trying to go the indie route, I highly suggest Heart Breathing's YouTube
Yeah.
channel. She's got a lot of content that goes over various stages of the process.
And
And it's
Alexa Dunn is good.
Mhm.
There's lots of people that have published indie that can help out. Now Alexa's done both, I think. So
Yeah.
she's trad now too. So, but yeah, if you look in the AuthorTube space, you'll find stuff. You'll find good advice, mostly good advice or experienced advice. Just don't fall into the trap of, how do I put this without being crude? Where people are patting each other on the back, saying that's, oh well, I heard that's what you need to do, and do it. Oh well, I heard that's what you need to do, and it becomes this patting each other on the back, saying the same thing when actually that may not work for you. So just be aware that those exist.
Yeah.
And anyone that says my system is guaranteed, run. Run.
Don't do it. Just don't do it.
my way is the one true way.
Run.
Run.
It's a fairy circle. Don't get trapped. Let's see. It probably would have been cut. I don't know why they split the last film. It could have been easily one film, barely. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Splitting of Wicked. Don't think I've posted
Don't
any.
get me started on how they were able to split Wicked when it comes to the fact that I've seen it in the theater, and I don't understand how they could possibly have split Wicked.
Yeah, just send them to Rachel. That's fine. Yeah.
I have a coffee. I don't use a coffee.
Right. Why did the romance author refuse to outline and their characters already ran off together without permission? Every time. Oh, goodness. Why did the romance author stop for coffee? They needed espresso.
He's turned into dad joke person now.
He has.
And the thing is like, he's only got one child here, and that child doesn't understand most jokes anyway.
Here.
Steph has a subtitle which you need to get back to posting on. I haven't posted on there since July or August. Yeah, there is a kitty. Why did the
This
indie
is
author
Simon.
line? Is what?
This is Simon.
Aw. Simon the Siamese. Because it's the only thing they were. Jesus. Wow.
I'm sorry, Rachel. Not sorry at all.
Look, you have a masochist that found a sadist. So,
How many cats are surrounding Maggie is likely a more accurate question.
I have 6 kittens that are ready to go to their homes. One of them I'm going to have to find a special home for because it has brain damage from having its skull punctured when it was a baby.
oh no.
I did not know if it would live when it was brought to me, but now he's alive and he's fine. He's very, very docile. It's like he got a partial lobotomy, so he's like the most docile. He just lays there and looks at you, and then it's like, meow, and it's like, okay, I'll pet you too.
Why did the isekai author cross the road to get hit by truck-kun and start a new series? This every single day. Even if it's in a fantasy world and they want to go into another world, they try to walk across the road to get hit by truck-kun.
Okay, put that comment back up. I have been okay, so I'm a huge anime fan.
Mm-hmm.
I have been seeing these reels going around, and I don't know who these people are, but if I find them, I'm going to start murdering them. So they're taking random like drama scenes and like saying different, like it's from like making up an anime that never existed. And it's like, oh, this and this and this and this. And I'm like, and like one of them I saw the other day, and I'm like, isn't that the opening from the opening of the Dragon Lord who chases his wife, or the Demon Lord who chases his wife? And they were like, no, that's not that anime. And I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure it is that anime. I'm pretty sure it is.
There's a lot of them that use why Raylena ended up at the Duke's Castle or something like that. But I see that over and over again, and they call it another anime, and I'm like, really?
And you know, they're like acting like the fandoms don't exist, and it's like, you know, they're trying to use like some older animes, like like adult anime fans. Our middle-aged anime fans don't exist. Like, we haven't already watched all this shit, and so we're not going to call you out on lying about what the story is.
We were
like, no, and then somebody tried to tell me that they were retasking it like they did with Robotech, which, if you don't know the history of Robotech was actually 3 different animes that they moshed together in the 90s to make a completely rewritten anime story with completely redone dialogue. And it's like, no, it's not. You're just taking scenes from random animes and making up the storyline you want to go with that anime. It's like the clip
That's
from
a
Year
level beyond fan fiction.
And
it's like video fiction.
They're trolls in my book. They're trolls. The piano scene in Your Lie in April, where she's playing the violin and dancing, and she tells him to stop and restart. The dancer, somebody was trying to say that the dancer was a prop for the piano player. And I'm like, did you even watch Your Lie in April?
Nope.
Apparently they didn't. So
they just made their own stuff up.
Yeah, that's what they're doing, and I'm so mad about it. It's so... At least make up a story that makes sense.
Don't send those reels to me, because I don't want to see them. I haven't seen them yet, and I don't want to.
Don't mess with Skye's algorithm.
I definitely see like clips like that, and I'm definitely in the comments going, okay, what anime is this? What anime is this? And if they tell me the wrong one for one that looks interesting, I'll be so mad.
Or they'll just make up a name. They'll just make up a name, and they'll say it's a Chinese anime. No, it's not.
It is not a manhwa. Love radio at the air. That's where I started with the audio. I don't like finding a book. I just thought it was full cast unexpectedly. Murderbot Diaries. Huh. Yeah, Stephen Fry did a really good job. And then here's all the links. There we go. Tony Robinson does a fantastic job with the Terry Pratchett books. Never pay a company to publish your book. Yep. The Writers and Artists Yearbook is published every other year. I think it's called the Literary Marketplace in the U.S., but it does the same thing. Oh, yeah. That right there.
Right.
Is it?
Writer's Market? Is that what it's called?
I think so.
Yearly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a big, thick book.
Yeah, it is.
And most libraries have copies of it, or they can get you a copy of it.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
I mean, it's a good thing Gabriel wouldn't have been alive back then.
Gabriel wouldn't have survived the Dark Ages. Let's be honest.
No.
You would have been like the elephant. Is this water sanitary?
Oh, it's covered in blood. What do you...
Gabriel would have found himself a monastery somewhere and Never left.
The cleaner of the monastery.
Yeah.
I have a whole list that I need to apparently watch. So
algorithms don't listen to Maggie.
The algorithms hate me.
I have noticed that after almost every Breaking the Block show that we do, my algorithm does something weird. And I start seeing, and I'm like,
is it listening? No, not today.
The algorithm overlord bots are like, oh, they mentioned this. They must want to see it. No, we don't.
Hmm.
I'm sorry, Rachel.
Summon plot device.
Look, if something like that's going to happen, at least let the dragon transform. That's all we're asking, because a femur.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yes, friends would be roughing up her game.
Right?
It looks questionable to me. Yeah. Okay. So, do we want to go to another question, or do we want to save that one for next time?
I'm fine with
We've been going
either.
for an hour.
I'm wide awake now, so.
You're right.
Basically, for those that don't know, I took a power nap last night. I didn't mean to. I thought I was just going to doze off in my recliner and, have a nice 6 to 7 hour sleep. And what I did was I took a 1.5 hour power nap and was up the rest of the night.
Oh, I had forgot. No.
I don't know what that was, but my brain just went, oh.
It's probably exactly where your brain went.
Well, and that's what I was saying. If it's gonna be a femur, let Cineas transform. That's all he asks. Please.
I have enough coffee for another question. All right, cool. So this kind of goes with the other one a little bit. So how do you get over the fear of failing or fear of being popular? Is there something you fear each time you sit down to write and or edit?
Y'all know what mine is. If you don't, it is writing something that goes too far, or writing something that people are going to come at me for. I don't like the idea of that. I don't like dogpiling. I don't like seeing it. I don't like witch hunts. I don't like seeing it. My whole thing is do what you want to do. As long as you're not hurting anybody, go for it. And I just worry sometimes, like I sent them a scene, or I asked them extra questions about a scene that Dawn and I wrote that is in the end of book 4 that I was worried about. Dawn usually doesn't have a problem with stuff like that, but she reads stuff that's more extreme than I do. So she was probably coming at it from a standpoint of, oh no, I've seen worse. I've read a lot worse in some of these books. And whereas I'm like, okay, so long as we don't annoy somebody, or we don't get the back end of somebody slapping us because it triggered them, or that kind of thing. So that's my biggest fear of being popular. If you're popular and then something like that happens, if you're up here on this pedestal, it's a long fall. Mm-hmm. If you have ticked off somebody and they go after you, that's my worry. But I don't I don't know about the fear of failing anymore. I just feel like if once we hit our stride and once we get things right when it comes to marketing, because that's the big deal when it comes to actually making this into a business is your marketing part. I think we're good. I think that things are going to start working out when it comes to that. So it's more of that fear of being popular and then canceled because you did something that ticked off somebody else. Because book talk is a thing, whether we like it or not.
Mhm.
It can lift you up, but it can also slam you down. I've
Mhm.
seen it happen.
Mhm.
I don't really have I agree with everything Rachel said. I really don't have a fear of failing as an author. I have a fear of not finishing all my editing before my brain finally blows up. But no, my main thing is I think my biggest fear is like, and I've had this happen, like other people come after me like, oh, you took this from so and so, you did, that you took this thing from this author, you're a book thief and you're a plagiarist. And like the series I'm going to be working on for next year, Servants of the Moon, my oracles use incense and bowls of water with a drop of oil in them to scry. And evidently nobody in this one author's fandom knew that was a thing that people have been doing since, like, I mean, they did it in ancient Greece, but they were doing that before in ancient Egypt. This is a practice that goes back like 5,000 years. And I literally had a fellow author, when I was on Wattpad, had a fellow author's fandom come at me to the point that I had to put up an explanation in my own book of the history of using water as a scrying implement.
That's ridiculous.
And
Get on the internet.
Yeah, it's like, I'm like, have none of you people ever like used Google? This is not specific to her. The
Has
oracles
everyone read
using bowls of water and incense smoke to scry with.
Wasn't that in the Odyssey too, or was it the Iliad?
It was in the
It was in one of them, wasn't it?
it was in the Odyssey.
Yeah, I mean,
When it I think it was Circle that did that.
I think so. But yeah, that's ridiculous.
But yeah, no, I think, I don't really have a fear of failing because honestly, it's like the imp voices in my head are my parents telling me that I suck at everything. So, if you're going to fail at something, fail in the biggest, most dramatic, explosive way, 4th of July, end of the world apocalypse possible. If you're gonna like that's that's why I do crazy things like the August 80K and push for 80,000 words. That's why I do 100 November. It's for 100 hours of sprints in November because if you're gonna fail, why not push for the biggest goals you can possibly push for? Because if you make it, if you don't make it, you still got more done than you started with, and you have failed dramatically. If you're going to fail big.
Fail forward.
Fail with fireworks. Be that granny riding down the road in a bikini top and a giant floppy hat and a beer in one hand and a Marlboro Red in your mouth, driving your lawnmower down Main Street.
With flags.
With flags. If you're gonna
fail epically.
Yeah.
Why did I automatically get the song Tequila Makes Her Clothes Fall Off going off in my head?
Maybe in 20 years. She's just preparing everybody.
Stride into the future. future using water and salt. It has been foretold.
Okay. Skye, you want to add your 2 cents?
I'm kind of with the other two. Because my stories are for me first before anyone else. If I fail, at least I wrote something I'm going to eventually read.
Oh yeah.
So like, I definitely have more of a fear of being popular than failing, for the exact reason that Rachel mentioned. You can get put on that pedestal, and it takes so long to build up to that point, but it only takes one false rumor to be knocked down to the bottom. And the thing is, once you're down there, you can't get back up again.
Mm-mm.
There is no redemption. Even if whatever is said is proven false, you won't get back up there.
Yeah.
So
I have that same fear, kind of, sort of. It's like in the back of my head. I don't really think on it too much. That's the reason why, if my books do start selling and I do somewhat get a name for myself, I want to be a mid-tier author. I don't want to be like Brando Sando or, somebody huge, Nora Roberts, like that. Just leave me in the middle so that if I do something stupid, I won't, nosedive into the abyss.
Well, and the more popular you are, you get picked apart easier.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But my major fear.
Mid-list.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing: is Stephen King wrote a perfect example of, worst case scenario for becoming a giant, for becoming a big author, and it was a book called Misery.
Mm.
And people are like, oh no, that would never. Yes, it does.
Mm.
Yes, it does. People like, part of the reason Anne McCaffrey did not like traveling outside of the UK is people would confront her and like yell at her for things in her books that they wanted differently.
Yep.
No.
And it's like, GRM. There's a reason that he never leaves his home. Because wherever he goes, people are like, oh my God, it's him. When's the next book?
No.
Yeah. And they don't know that he's made a deal with Satan and it's only available in hell. But anyway.
I honestly think that my biggest fear is not getting through my stories, not getting them done. Mostly the epic, which is the reason why I'm trying to push myself to get to it next year. My biggest fear is not getting it out. Mostly just the first 3 books, but yeah, for the 12.
That's part of mine too, especially with, and this is like not the whole fear of being popular or failing. It's just that the last one, something you fear each time you sit down to write is an edit is the idea that I really am on, like, you don't think about your timelines until, or at least I didn't think about my timelines until I was over a certain age. And even then it wasn't that big of a deal until I got the melanoma. And then I was like, oh, well, that could have just been bad. So that then became a fear that we wouldn't get these stories out there. And it's not just mine and Dawn's stories, but other things that I want to publish. I want to be able to do that before anything happens, because what I deal with has a 72% chance of coming back, and coming back in places that you don't want it to come back. So it's one of those situations where you never get rid of it. It's, you can say you're in remission, but really? No, not really. Yeah. So that's why I'm like, I feel like that has pushed me to have that. Pushed me to go, okay, well, we need to get down to business.
Well, we love you. We're glad you're still here with us.
Very much so.
You.
And may the odds ever be in your favor. apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, fear is a funny thing because in our back of our lizard brains, we were from like the time we came up from either whether you believe we evolved from like a mouse-like creature or a monkey-like creature, or we just popped out in the garden somewhere. Fear has been this primal programming in us. Magic dust. Fear has been this primal programming in us, and fight or flight is real. And in the modern world, because we are not being hunted by lions and tigers and bears and wolves, oh my, it manifests itself in other ways. And it, unfortunately, fear has connected itself to our success, our accomplishment drive.
Mm-hmm.
And people authors having anxiety attacks, like legitimate full-blown panic attacks because they're stuck somewhere in a book, is a legitimate thing because their brain feeds them the same neurochemicals as if they just walked around the corner and came face to face with a Spalacis ursa or cave bear. It's like, oh, it feels like I'm going to die now. And so if you're an author, if you are at this point, if you're just having this author panic attack about a book, author panic attack about your sale, these are valid. It's not just you being paranoid. These are valid feelings. These are neurochemical triggered responses. And can you talk yourself through something like that? Can you talk to friends and get through something like that? Yes, you can. But also, if you need help with this, talk to an actual therapist, talk to a doctor, because we can give you all of the advice in the world for what we have been through, and it might not help you with what you're going through.
Yeah. We are not therapists. We're not professionals. Well, we're professional authors.
We're professional word vomiters.
There you go. Liz says, I have an irrational one that if I finish my manuscript, I'll pass. Mixed with, I need to finish them all before I pass. Goodness knows why. Brain is odd after the run ends with C19. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Go for the gold.
Yeah.
I'm planning to only do Nano twice a year. Oh, go ahead.
These are completely valid feelings. Mm-hmm. Something is causing you to have a neurochemical response.
What does it mean to fail, though? Does it mean you don't ever publish? Does it mean you publish but don't have lots of sales? It's, I guess, whatever you consider to be your failure. Like, for me, it's not finishing them. Mm-hmm. Period. That would be my failure.
Same.
Yeah. Got so many series started. Finishing them is the goal right now.
Yeah.
Even if somebody else publishes, my thought is that it's there for them.
We wrote for us regardless. I'll read it over and over just like I do now. So
there are so many things that I read that I know that's not going to get into the main books, but I love it. I love it. And I'm just like, it makes me feel good to reread it, even if it may not see, the light of day when everybody else is concerned.
Yeah. I need Dawn's brain. I just need it.
That's the reason he asked questions.
Oh,
I remember him coming to me like, would you look at this sex scene, please?
Yeah.
Does that mean that in some way you've actually made it, though, because your name is known? It's like one of those, but you have heard of me kind of thing. Maybe not the way I want wish you had heard of me, but you have heard of me.
I think the Jack Sparrow mentality for indie authors is a 100% real thing. And James, you don't have to worry. I don't think you have to worry about ending up on that Reddit.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Having read beta read yours.
Yeah. Margaret says, I didn't have the fear of failing because denial, but now having to accept an adjustment of expectations is rough going. Gotcha. Hey, Martha. Success is now survival for many. Yeah, it is. Your brain had to hook onto something like that.
Yeah.
That is, it is a whole episode. I'm professionally crazy. I think, aren't we all? I mean,
A little bit.
Well, when I was working in nursing, we used to say that the Zymers was catching, and yeah,
you haven't got your notes.
yeah,
well,
you get it.
I'm like,
You
oh,
get
my
it from
first-
your you get it from your patients, and you give it to the next set. Yeah. So
You want me to get it?
I got
Oh,
it.
you got it. Okay.
The Post-its that I have lying up here have things on them, and I'm like, I don't want to remove them until I do them.
Writing is facing your demons.
Yeah.
In some cases, yeah.
mm-hmm.
It's like
I write
therapy.
I write overcomer fiction, so I've got trigger warnings on chapters and chapter sections just because writing is therapy and reading is therapy, and it's a reason that in Pagosa Cliffs and Enemies, like you have characters and you see them interacting with their therapist because trauma is real and trauma just doesn't go away and you can't just get over it. Yeah. Anyone who says that to you about something that is trauma, or they invalidate your trauma by saying, oh, well, that's not something you should really be traumatized by. Yeah. No. Run away from that person.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay to go through as many therapists as you need to go through until you find one that understands you and helps you. Everybody has this idea that, oh, you have one therapist and that's your therapist. No.
Mm-hmm.
If your therapist isn't helping you after the first month, 2 months, you need to find someone else.
I had a reader point out that most of my stories have some kind of memory issue in at least one of the characters. And I was like, yeah, because I deal with a lot of memory issues myself. Of course I'm going to put that. You got to deal with it.
It's like your own voice kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It helps me work through my own problems. Thank you very much.
Why most of my characters have some kind of depression or anxiety or something like that too. I live through them. No. That's it's one of the reasons I write for me and me only. That way I don't have any fears about something I enjoy doing and have enjoyed doing for 31 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Writing is facing your demons. But be warned, there are 365 other voices in my head. 360 only fears. That's a lot to take. It's fine. They'll get along with mine. Margaret said, I did a sticky note purge of the desk during renovations and put them in a new planner, but now largely invisible, so oh well.
Oops.
I get that. Closet monsters in the writing. Yep. Yeah, that's the reason why, like I said, I've got like 2 sitting here and then the one here. Yeah.
I read the Kanban board this time because this whole year has been a chaotic mess for me. And I realized, I didn't do a Kanban board. I didn't do any of the planning stuff that I would normally do this year. I just tried to wing it with to-do lists and things like that here and there. And I feel like because my brain is so chaotic, I need that kind of organization. Otherwise, we have this year where I got one novel done instead of 3. So
Yeah, that endorphin reward of moving things from writing to editing to publishing, and then getting to pull off this thing. Yeah. See, I did 6 books, 7 books, and for the beginning of the year. Now 3 of them were republishes of books that I got back from my publishing house. So I don't. It's a weird way. I don't feel like they count. I don't feel like those 3 books count because I did a re-edit and I put back scenes in them that were taken out. But I don't feel like those 3 books count. So I had 4 books. My brain is like 4 books this year instead of 6 books this year. But like I said, other than the book that published on July 1st, which I guess technically is 3rd quarter. My brain doesn't see it that way. It sees it as part of 2nd quarter. I haven't done anything for the 3rd and 4th quarter of this year except work on the Shadow Hunt. And it's 80,000 words now. It is up to 80,000 words. And I guess Fatality and Fractured Hearts, and then School Sanctimony are 2 shorts, and then I got like really short stories, like less than 2,000 or 5,000 word stories into 3 anthologies. But my brain doesn't count the anthologies. I don't know. It's like there's not enough words for them to count because my chapter count, chapter count.
Okay.
See, is 2,500 to 3,000 words. Is my chapter count normally, and my brain does not count the anthologies because they're the size of my chapters.
So they're work, but you put a lot of effort into the anthologies because you put extra polish on that, or at least I do. And so I was wondering if I was the only one that did that. My brain is like, but it's just so short. But it took a lot of work. But at the same time,
I spent weeks on the things for the anthologies.
Yeah.
But my brain does not recognize them. My brain does not recognize them.
The magic. Hey, Heather.
I'm gonna have to make like a GIF out of that, man.
Yeah, you are. Do one of your little dragons.
Yes.
Adds to sticky note collection.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to do that too. A dragon with sticky notes.
Tearing up the sticky notes. It's so satisfying to pull that sticky note off the board and go into little thumbnail-sized pieces. That's almost as much fun to me as getting a print copy in and going, ooh, my precious. Yeah.
Because I was moving my desk back and forth between 2 rooms, the Kanban board did not work for me, and I want it to work so badly because it just that it scratches that itch in my brain so good. But it got to the point where I would make it and then I wouldn't look at it again until the next quarter. I was like, oh yeah, I did make this thing.
See, mine is on a mirror that in my recording room. Mine is on a mirror that sits on my desk. So I have to pull the stickies off to see the reflection. And it's this weird thing that as I'm pulling the work off, I'm seeing myself again. I know it's a weird mentality thing.
I like that though.
Yeah.
But it's, I'm when you look at it at the beginning of the year, the whole thing is covered. And then as I'm moving things and pulling things off, I'm beginning to It's like a weird ritual validation. that the work equals me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not trying to like do like a weird narcissistic thing or anything. No, but it's I don't know. It works for
What
me.
are we not discussing, Dawn?
The sticky notes.
Okay. I bet that didn't work for you though.
My Kanban board, as of right now, it may change in the future, is just all of my projects on little slips of paper. And I move all of them over into editing, almost done, published. So I don't know. That right now has really helped me visualize everything. But now I've got like 6 more to add somewhere on the whole writing side, and there's no room.
I have it broken into half. Like one half is nothing but book publishing, and then the other half is everything else. So I've got the standard for everything else. Here it is, in progress, done. But on the book publishing side, I've got it broken down a little bit more. So I've got my sticky notes that have either sections of novels broken down or a full novel if it's one of the shorter stories. And then it's got book publishing, betas, beta revisions, editor revisions, formatting, etc. That kind of, because it breaks it down a little bit further.
Right.
I can reward myself for getting something accomplished to me. And then I also can just look at a glance and see where something is as far as a project is concerned.
Yep. Let's see. Mine has ND characters in them because ND neurodivergence. Okay. And there aren't enough representations out there. My fear is that people will slaughter and gaslight and cancel me for it. No one thinks like that. No, there is somebody
Oh yeah,
that thinks like that. And if people come at you, I'm here. I protect.
Yeah, we never mention it other than Gabriel, but we never really mention their neurodivergence and stuff because for one thing, they're older. So when you've got a vampire and a dragon and werewolves that are that old, they never heard such language, so they don't think about it as much. But Gabriel was born in the 80s. Did we say 80s? I think 80s or 70s. And so he's like Gen X. So he's the one that is on the cusp of learning that, oh, well, there's actually a diagnosis for this, and so you will see us mention his more than the others. But the other ones, definitely, it's more of a show rather than tell with the others, at least until a little bit later, and they meet a specific person that winds up being like, oh no, all of y'all people need therapy. All of you need therapy. Yeah.
Samantha's like, and you need therapy, and you need
Samantha's
therapy,
one of them.
You
She's like,
really need therapy.
Nope. This,
And
I
it's
feel
a good
this.
thing I'm going to become a vampire because I'm going to be spending the next 1,000 years giving you therapy.
She's like, let me get one thing straight. And she lists 100. Yes, Jenna. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Because 2025 to me shouldn't have existed. I can tell you when I started drifting, but I'm not going to say it.
April. It was April.
January.
It was April.
January.
No.
I had this weird
For
thing
you?
of the first quarter of 2025 seeming like it lasted forever. It was like January 356, 2025. January, February, and March seemed like they lasted forever.
Yeah.
And then April hit, and about the second week of April, it was like everything just started. And by June, I was I was fighting an uphill battle, and by July I was like,
And your migraines hit bad this time.
Mhm.
my migraines were bad this spring. And the whole year they were bad. The whole year they were bad. They changed up my medicine. Yeah. No, I've let's talk about, because we're at this point where we're all talking about how much we've struggled. And we started with talking about what are the things that concern us most, and it's all of us are like not finishing shit. Sorry, Sam. And
No,
and
Monica.
it's and imposter syndrome and stuff like that, because that is part of the imp is telling us you're never going to finish this because you're not good enough to finish this.
Mhm.
So December's coming. I am planning on using December as an acorn month. I started this thing, Caro Brown started this thing years ago called an acorn month, where you just take a month to do nothing but plan, to set yourself up a plan. And so I did that in 2020. I used December 2020 as an acorn month and did it for 5 years. I need to have a new acorn month and start my next plan. And so December I'm going to be sitting down, seriously looking at all of my projects in progress, the things I'm doing, the things that got scooted off from the end of this year into next year. This organization has almost been my superpower this year.
It's exactly why I redid the board, and exactly why I literally went through and cleaned my desk in my area. And it may have been to other people, they were probably like, well, why aren't you, writing or whatever? Because this bothers me. It's part of the chaos that's causing me to stop doing things. So yeah, I feel the acorn month thing. The only thing that we're going to be working on in December is, and it's really not work because it's fun. The stuff that we've been working on with book 5 has been fun. Like, it's not, I don't see it as work. It's just a matter of scheduling it when we can actually, we're both mentally prepared to do stuff is part of the problem. But yeah, I've been really diving into my planning. I want to make sure that 2026 gets going on the right foot, because 2025 didn't.
Yeah.
I went into 2025 so deflated after seeing what happened in this country. And so that kind of wrote me out of everything in 2025, because there was that. And then I went into it also knowing that we had a major surgery that was going to happen at the very beginning of the year, and that we didn't know what all was going to happen further into the year. And yeah, awesome.
I've already got my Bujo for 2026 made.
Same. It's even tabbed and leveled.
I don't have anything written in it for plans yet because I haven't started my acorn month, but I've got all the months in here, all the dates put in here. Pages set up for my usual mayhem projects.
That's part of the reason I'm taking a hiatus in December from all things YouTube, is because I want to plan and start creating content for 2026, because my problem is not filming, it's editing and uploading. And so like I want to like pre-film and schedule out some stuff ahead of time, because I would like to be more consistent and at least doing something each week. And I just get so far behind, and then once I get behind, I'm like, well, I don't feel like doing it anymore. So I want to get ahead so I don't get that feeling.
Yep.
I've started a couple of things for 2026, but it's I don't like the boundary between years. I never have, because it feels like, okay, what can I still get done? Do I really want to get it done, or do I just want to push it off till next year and just use this to rest? And it's like, but you can't rest. Then you guilt trip yourself.
There are two things that I like that I've seen people do recently. Kate Kavanaugh starts her year in December. I think that is such a cool idea, that the new year starts in December. And then someone, I feel like it was Maggie, but I could be wrong about this. Someone said they start their year on their birthday because that is their new year for them.
My
And I'm
birthday
like,
is January 1st.
That doesn't work for you then. But like my birthday
See, it
is in
wouldn't.
March.
Mine's the 8th, so it wouldn't.
My birthday's in March, but that still gives me like a little bit of a buffer. Like I use January and February to be like feeling things out, see what works, see what doesn't, and then on my birthday, bam, that's when we start the new year. Like in a way, I feel like that is such a cool concept. I'm so sorry, January babies.
I always do the 85K 90 in the first quarter,
Yeah.
which is less than 1,000 words a day, and I just kind of I take December off for planning, and then I ease myself back into the routine. So
Technically, I kind of could do my new year on my birthday because it's January 31st. So kind of
Oh, then
coincides
yours
with
is
Tiny.
perfect then.
Yeah,
Look at all us January babies.
I know. Aquarius for the win. Well, no, y'all are
we're Capricorn babies.
Yeah. I want to be more like Alex. Yep. Nope, not working for me.
See, I wouldn't mind going by my like Etherean calendar, the calendar that my Etherean semi-immortals go by, because their new year is the day of light returning after the winter solstice. So the longest night of the year ends the old year, and the first day that the daylight starts getting longer is the beginning of their new year.
Oh,
That'd be neat.
Cool.
Yeah. No. Talking, no. Just no talking mirrors, no. For running my organization, I have Rach can't get better because she's also I created a character based
She's
on
awesome,
me.
but she's also lost a couple of things.
It's fine. It's fine. Create a character based on me because it's unbelievable hard having a condition only 50 people on the planet have. Having a disability is hard enough. Having a condition like that is worse.
Yeah.
Cannot imagine. Margaret says sometimes throwing money at a problem is okay for me. Ice matcha latte and chill. Other times, no. Sending unready manuscripts to my editor, just a waste. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Dawn is going to protect everybody.
I will fight.
Immortals don't take the time to care often either because their use of time is often valued in other ways. Yeah. Accepting things are what they are until someone wants to do something about it.
Yeah. She's talking about every single one needs therapy.
Yep.
Sebastian would scare the therapist.
Yeah. There's not enough atypical neurodivergency representation. Yeah. He would traumatize their poor therapist. Can stress trigger a migraine for you? Because it does for me. Yeah, it does me too. Therapists would need therapy. That's what they're there for.
Hello. Oh, the doggos are here.
The doggos
are here. My giant house horse.
Yeah, December is good for deep cleaning too. Got a desk a couple months back. It's just set up in the living room in the place that's probably going to be permanent until if I move. Standing desk from your neighbor. Nice. I love my standing desk. It helps so much.
Yeah.
Not that y'all really get to see it in action because I'm always sitting down when I'm doing these things, but yeah.
Yeah, I have this tray on my elliptical that I can put my laptop in when I'm like doing an editing pass, and I can just get on there and walk on my elliptical, do the thing, listen to the stories it's read, stop it, do some typing, keep going.
Is anybody doing any planning streams?
I might be doing planning streams in December. Um,
I don't know if I will, just because I
but
don't know. I'm trying to still piece things together of what I want to use. So yeah.
I'm not doing any planning streams, but I am doing, since I'm going on hiatus. But I am doing like backstage sessions with a couple of different people throughout the month at my usual streaming time. I mentioned it on my live stream last night, and probably at some point during those we'll be doing planning stuff, but it won't be, nothing will be live. It'll just be us chatting off live stream.
Okay.
I haven't decided yet. I'm sorry. I just realized I hadn't answered.
You're good.
I could potentially do a series based on, hey, I'm trying to get back on track. You know what you do when you're trying to get back on track for planning. It depends on if I've got the time though, because there's lots going on. And I'm going to be doing a new schedule. Thinking about taking the 9 to 11-ish slot at night, because I tend to do, and then Dawn would be available too. We tend to do our best work right around that time frame. It's either we're working or we're taking a break playing ARC. So either one's entertaining as far as I'm concerned.
All the January babies.
And my oldest son is also a Cappy. He was born the 31st of December.
So I grew up in a household where my mom and dad were both Aquariuses, and I was an Aquarius, and I was the baby by 11 years. My sister is a Cancer, and my brother is a Scorpio.
Ooh.
Needless to say, my brother was an odd man out completely.
see, all of us. Ash, the eldest is November 17th. The middle is December 3rd. The husband is December 27th, also a Capricorn. I'm January 1st, also a Capricorn. And then the youngest one was born on April 19th, which is the Aries Taurus cusp. And she is both signs. She is like fire and earth together. So yeah, she's the odd one out. But yeah, we are all like winter cluster, and then we have a spring baby.
My family is all throughout the year.
And her baby is actually due in June, so it's like,
Aww.
we're gonna have a summer baby too. That'll be born on the Cancer cusp. So, you know.
Oh, sorry, I was laughing at Margaret's. I can just imagine Mom in her kitchen. No. What we're not going to do is reorganize things if it's not our kitchen. No.
As someone who had their mom come in and do exactly that, oh my God.
No.
I was allowed to do it. Okay? Because my kids are chaos incarnate. So they were just like, yeah, please do. I was finding things they'd lost a year ago, you know.
Yeah, my kid, whenever I go visit any of the others, they're the two that don't live with us, they're like, "Oh, you cleaned my house while I was gone for 15 minutes." Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
That's me.
And by the way, I threw away your potato science experiment.
It grew mold. It's okay.
It was ready to leave the home on its own, so it's fine.
Hey, can I tell something on my husband?
Sure.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So I'm proud of him. Let me get that out of the way. He went into this so bullheaded about having his books be harem books. And that was that, because that's what guys wrote. And I told him, dude, you really should try reverse harem, because I think you could do it. I think you could pull it off. And quite frankly, he's had more fun. He pulled a Sam. He's had more fun doing those kind of books and writing a female in character. And I have had more fun listening to him talk about it. I haven't read much of it because I wanted to give that just to him, but yeah, I think
he's doing a great
cool.
job. He's doing a great job.
Very much so.
I'm so glad that we both love Firefly too, because I just see like tidbits of the ideas in writing in that.
Oh yeah. Dawn's a Gemini. Can go Capricorn, a capybara.
I'll take either. I'm cool. I love capybaras.
I do too. They're so chill.
Hey, capybaras allow you to have a big butt because it's a defense mechanism.
Exactly.
Good one. And they're so damn cute.
And they give a whole new meaning to bite my butt. So.
All right. Gemini, hubby is Aries, grands are Aries, Gemini, and Taurus. Wow. Let's see. When I got moved back around the corner.
Pluto night at your house is interesting.
Yeah.
Listening to it over Discord is interesting too.
I don't have mine memorized. I've got it written down somewhere. But yeah.
I used to have one of those full reports, and I don't have it anymore. I don't know where it went. I know I'm an Aries. I don't know anything beyond that.
A friend of mine gave Glenn and I gave us a full report of our signs, our whole astrological chart, and we're technically 3.5 days apart. So the only differences were our Mercury and our moon was just slightly different. Other than that, our entire chart is exactly the same. And they're like, you shouldn't even be able to be dating. You're so much alike. And it's like, really? Because we're both accented on different features of these things. And yeah, everybody lost the wedding pool for how long we'd been married, because the longest date was 18 months. And we are now going on 28 years. So.
Now, I was told that me and my hubs shouldn't be together because he's a Pisces and that we would never get anything done. And I'm like, really?
I'm an Aries and my husband's a Scorpio, and it's fire and water. And we were actually talking about it yesterday. I was like, there's more chance of me starting a fight with anyone and going to jail for it than you because of my temper. And he was like, accurate.
We flipped the switch. Me and James have been together for 31 years, and it's been funny because it's like he started off the wild child that, he would just say anything or do anything, whatever. Now he's a little bit more laid back, and I'm the one that's like, really? Really? You want to say that?
You want to say it again? You want to say it to my face?
Yeah. I'm the one that my husband looks at is like, do not be sarcastic. Shut up. Close your mouth.
Don't do it.
You get the poke, the side poke. Don't stick under the table.
Or that gentle squeeze of the hand that do not.
I think my sister taught him how to rein me in, because it was Patty that was always like,
Y'all know that one?
What?
Your face is loud. Stop it.
My face is saying what my mouth cannot.
She would always like poke my forehead, lower the eyebrow. You have the mouth closed, but lower the eyebrow. Let's see. We were told a marriage would not last because I am me. So you're the Bingleys. Yeah. I remember the line from Starlight Express. I am me, and that is all I need. Yep.
Oh, I like that.
All right. Good deal. We've been at it for 2 hours, y'all. So we've got
Woohoo!
right. We've got 2 questions for next time. I'm thinking the last 2 Sundays in December we will take a break just to refresh. Are y'all okay with that?
That's fine.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I know right now is having a
A right celebration
Yeah.
at the end.
Yeah.
at the end.
So my daughter says my face says everything my mouth doesn't. My current job, I have to watch that. I think my face is pretty transparent too.
There's one thing that I learned working in the pharmacy. It was how to just have this blank, pleasant, mildly pleasant expression no matter what was going on in front of me. Because you have to, you leave and cry about it or laugh about it later. But when you're facing someone, you're like, oh, I understand. I'm so sorry. Let me help you with that.
I was the opposite. The pharmacy taught me not to have a filter anymore.
Working with oncology nurses. No. I went into it having a filter, and I think I came out not having the filter because they give a shit. They care, and they're actually quite passionate about it. And I mean, I've seen nurses tell doctors off in the middle of a hallway. You want to talk about embarrassing?
Nurses are scary sometimes. It's just like, oh.
Yep. All right. Y'all want to do your outros, and then we'll head out. Maggie.
Mama Maggie Ward, independent author, stroke survivor, migraine overcomer. I really like coffee. I have books. I just finished doing a whole freebie for the first 8 books of The Relic of Time Wars for Dinovember. That's still, it will be the last book 7 and 8 will still be free, I think, until the 3rd. So if you go to my Amazon page, you can pick those up. I write all kinds of things. Yeah. And I have no fear of publishing anything because my fear is not getting them done. And I ignore the imp as much as possible. Doesn't always work, but I try. And I'm determined that 2026 is going to be more organized than 2025.
I just put my link up in the chat for YouTube. I'll move it over in just a minute, but I am Rachel D. Adams. I work with Dawn, who is in the chat right now, on the Dragon Tasker series and Life and Loves of a Dragon, which is the prequel series. And we're hoping to get that done in 2026. We have every ounce of our goals into that. We also have just released book 4 of the main series. You can find it there. And because we just released the book, I put the first 2 books in both series on sale for 99 cents. Also, be on the lookout for most of the indie authors to have big sales coming in December because of Smashwords. If we go wide, Smashwords is having a big sale. In case you don't like Amazon, Smashwords is something that you can do. So.
Yep.
All right, and I am Skye. I am a fantasy author, typically writes paranormal romance. My name is S.D. Higgins, and I am going on complete hiatus in December, so I may be in chat. I definitely won't be on camera for the next 2 Breaking the Blocks, because I'm using December to kind of get ahead for 2026 and plan and all that fun jazz, and get my life together, I guess, is what you could say. And anything that will be going live on my channel in December is already scheduled. I think that's it. I don't know what else to say.
All right. So thank you, everyone, for joining me. Those of you on screen and those of you in the chat and those watching the replay, y'all are awesome. We will see y'all next Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern for another Breaking the Block. We already have 2 questions for it, but if you have more, go ahead and leave it in the comments below or just DM me or whatever. Whatever is easiest for you. All right. Y'all have a great rest of your day. We'll see you in the chats next during the week. Bye.